Tonight's honorary captains are representatives from the Clinton Board of Aldermen. The officials for tonight's game: referee Mark Dreyfus, assistant referees Lewis Williams and Ryan Harris, and our fourth official, Dip Paul. Now the starting lineup for FC Miami City champions. In goal, number 16, Florian Matthew. Defender, Alexander Joseph. Victor Naranol. Ryan Parado. And Hugo Leroux. In the midfield, Danny Gonzalez. Carlos Garcia. Patrick Lopez. Christopher Davis. And up top, Ezekiel Zaldua and Brian Pereira. Now the starting lineup for Mississippi Brilla FC. Jordan Bell. Michael Gonzalez. Dustin Ashley. John Calderwood. And Ignacio Flores. In the midfield, Banu Sayed. Sergio Arroyo. Eduardo Cruz. English Stambini. And up top, Kellen Gully. Tonight's prayer will be led by Michael Manuel, and the national anthem will be performed by Aaron Hnull. Please rise and remove any hats as we pray and observe the national anthem.
Let's pray together. Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for both of these teams and the organizations they represent. God, we thank you for the journey that has led them here this season, the highs, the lows, the things that they have learned along the way. Father, we pray tonight that we could have a good, clean game. We pray that you would protect these players from injury. God, most of all, we pray that you would be glorified both in the response of the players and the response of those of us who are fans. God, thank you for Jesus. Thank you for your grace, your mercy, your kindness toward us. We pray these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. And oh, Saint Dark and Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You are looking live at Air Field here in Clinton, Mississippi for the second of the Southern Conference Championships between the Mississippi Brilla, the Mid-South Division champions, and the runner-up of the Southeastern Division, FC Miami City champions. In the earlier game, the first semifinal of tonight, the defending Southern Conference champions Ocala Stampede defeated the Midland Odessa Sockers 1-0. Lewis Hilton converted a PK won by Ocala teammate Karamba Janah in the 80th minute. I'm Will Nations, joined today by John Goolsby, and we'll guide you through this second semifinal as these two teams, the Mississippi Brilla and the FC Miami City champions, hope to make the Saturday Conference Championship game, which will be contested here in Clinton, Mississippi at 7:30 p.m. We'll run through the starting lineups. First for the Mississippi Brilla, the host. In goal, Jordan Bell. Making up the back line, Michael Gonzalo, Dustin Ashley, John Calderwood, and Ignacios Flores. In the midfield is Sergio Royo, Manuel Saiz, Eduardo Cruz, and Luis Tambini. And up front for Brilla is Kellen Gully, Carlos Garcia Suarez, rounding up the starting 11. For FC Miami City, it's in goal Florian Matthew, Alexander Joseph, Victor Durandold, Ron Paredo, Hugo LaRue, Christopher Davis, Danny Gonzalez, Carlos Garcia, Patrick Lopez, and up top, Ezekiel Zaldua and Bayan Paredo. Mississippi Brilla is wearing the North Carolina blue, all North Carolina blue, and they will be defending the south side of Arrow Field, your right side of the screen, and attacking to the left. And FC Miami City, in all white, will be on your left, the north side, and attacking the south. They will have the honors of getting this game underway once we get settled.
It looks like the Blue Battalions are ready for the game to start. Got a pretty good Blue Battalion in attendance tonight and definitely making some noise over there.
Always good to have the home support, and I think that's what Rusty Bryan and crew were looking for when they set out to host the Southern Conference Championship, and they have a very nice crowd out today. And hopefully they can make the conference championship for the first time in since 2011. They made the conference championship that year, and that was the last time they also made a playoff appearance. FC Miami, which was founded in 2014, is playing their first competitive season in the PDL. Somewhat of an old versus new, as Brilla is in their 9th season as a PDL team. And we're underway here. Miami FC Miami is in possession.
And this looks like the largest attendance I've seen this season. It looks like a really good crowd out here to support their local team, and it's really awesome to see that.
Indeed it is, and Michael Gonzalo clears that out for a FC Miami throw-in. Christopher Davis to take it. Nice bicycle kick there.
Miami City FC looks like they're really pressing pretty hard early.
Eduardo Cruz plays the ball back to his teammate John Calderwood, who plays it up. Calderwood back on the ball. Long ball into Kellen Gully, who is whistled for offsides. The match officials for today are Mark Dreyfus, assistant referees Lewis Williams and Ron Harris, and your fourth official, Dick Paul. FC Miami will leave the ball for Florian Matthews to take the offside free kick. FC Miami slides it over to Christopher Davis. That's looked to be a handball. He handled that before it was out of bounds, but it is what it is. Play continues. Put this game into perspective, at least on the basis of records. Mississippi Brilla enters tonight's match 6-3-3, while FC Miami is 7-4-3 previously of the regular season. Ryan Parado to throw it in. Brilla will have a throw in. Played in through, and it's number 32, Patrick Lopez, with the opportunity, earning FC Miami a corner kick. Very dangerous moment here in the 4th minute as FC Miami looked to have maybe put a goal on the scoreboard. Christopher Davis with the throw in. A long one into the 18-yard box. More danger. Brilla is unable to clear, but gets it out of pressure as Calderwood brings it up. So Eduardo Cruz, Calderwood, back to Cruz. It's an untimely turnover, but great use of the body by Michael Gonzalo, I believe. Played long and gathered by Eduardo Cruz to Calderwood. Calderwood. Kellangoli checks in, gets the ball. One of the leading scorers for Brilla, Sergio Arroyo, is also a leading scorer for Brilla with 7 goals in the regular season. Kellangoli has the same amount as well. FC Miami with the throw-in. And intercepted by Brilla's Manuel Saiz. Dustin Ashley fights for the ball. It'll be a Mississippi Brilla throw-in. YouTube is the league's official online video home, offering live games and feature content. Subscribe for free to the PDL YouTube channel today. Thrown by Calderwood. Won by Dustin Ashley. Back to Ashley. And a whistle from our match official, Mark Dreyfus.
Not sure really what the call was there. Did you see that?
I guess it was a little physical play, I guess, on a 50-50. Unfair advantage, possibly. Ignacio Flores on the ball.
Miami City's definitely pressing every ball, that's for sure. They're all over the place right now.
First time here in the playoffs, first season as a PDL team, and looking to make a statement. Almost made a statement by dethroning Southeast champions. And it looks like a great chance, and he's unbalanced. Wow, Mississippi Brilla almost broke the egg on the scoreboard. That was Sergio Arroyo who had that opportunity there.
It looked like if he had had about one more second, that would have been a goal for sure.
Calderwood with the cross, whipped in very well with pace. And FC Miami regroups, looks to counter, and will get a free kick. Allows for Brilla to get settled. He's in behind. He'll cross it into really nobody there. Unsure of why he attempted that.
Taking that free kick really quickly caught Brilla a little bit out of position there on that right side of the field.
And here it comes back down, number 7. Christopher Davis with the chance, crosses it in front of the face of goal, and no FC Miami player is able to get on the end of it. A corner kick for the champions. There, I suspect you had to earn it.
Sure. You know, it's interesting. This game is starting out much quicker pace, a lot more action early on than the previous game right before this with Odessa and Midland. Or Midland, yeah.
For sure. And a lot more opportunities, a lot more class opportunities than we had in the previous game, which Ocala Stampede won 1-0 as we get nearer to the 10th minute, and it's still 0-0 between FC Miami and Mississippi Brilla. Jordan Bell, the Scot, will take this goal kick for Mississippi Brilla. It's a long one into Miami's half. Tambini has his pass intercepted.
Tell you what, it's really fun to watch Eduardo Cruz out there. That footwork and speed, really a good combination for spectators out here tonight.
And great pace there to chase after that. A little controversy there, as it looked to be that Matthew had stepped out of the box and handled that. Many of the fans here were calling and screaming for that. Unfortunately, it goes unnoticed, and we continue to play, but Brilla's in possession.
That was really, really close. It looked like the ball may have definitely been over the plane there. But it's one of those tough calls, I guess, on the field. Hopefully they've got a better perspective than us.
His view was obstructed, and I do give him credit for maybe not blowing the whistle on a call that he might not have seen at 100%.
Sure.
The corner kick for Brilla. Whipped in, header. Cleared out by FC Miami. Miami wins the attack his own.
That looks like Brian Perea.
Brian Perea. Ooh, and Jordan Bell's active off the line. Almost was a mistake as Brian Perea nearly made the Brilla goalkeeper pay for coming off that far off his line, well out the goal. What was maybe his thought process on that?
I'm not really sure. I mean, that's the second kind of a quick ball to the right side, and it looks like the defender's been out of position. So I don't know if he was coming out anticipating that, you know, he was the last man there. But anyway, it worked out in Brilla's favor there. That didn't go in.
Another shot. Ooh, and it's almost an FC Miami goal. Had he gotten over it a little bit better, we might be seeing a 1-0 game, but as is, in the 12th minute, it's 0-0. That was Patrick Lopez who put his foot on it and sailed it wide of the goal. Jordan Bell with the honor of taking the free kick, or the goal kick. Calderwood received the pass from Eduardo Cruz to Gully. Has to be a foul. No intention of getting the ball, and Kellen Gully wins a critical free kick.
That's about 20 yards out, it looks like.
Roughly 20 yards, and a good opportunity either to put one on frame or possibly get it into the mix there inside the 18-yard box. FC Miami could be paying for this.
And it looks like Brilla's got everyone up here. This should be a good chance for them.
Miami has everybody in the box. It looks as though they're trying to counteract the hyperactivity of Brilla's offense. Into the wall. Timbini tries a shot and is not well struck. Ball remains in play. It'll be a Brilla throw-in. Looks to be Manuel Saiz tossing the ball back to his teammate, Ignacios Flores. Flores to Saiz. Saiz looking to cross. It's intercepted. FC Miami tries to create those counterattacks, tries to get in behind, and they haven't been able to do that. Tambini passes the ball, and it's now Dustin Ashley on it, and the Racine, Wisconsin native. Serves it up, and Kellen Gully unable to get on the end of it. Calderwood. Calderwood is Sergio Arroyo, I believe.
Here's a counter here.
Whipped in. Ron Perea wins the ball back and swings it out to Christopher Davis, who is unable to maintain possession as it rolls out for a Brilla throw-in. Ignacios Flores will do the honors. Ezekiel Zalduas, number 27 up top for FC Miami. He's caused a little havoc for the back line. It's a great look here. Manuel Saiz got on the ball. Crossed in from Flores.
Just missed. I tell you what, though, the intensity of this game starting off, if we can get settled in, this is going to be quite a game.
Great pace to start it off with. Both teams definitely hungry from the start. I think they felt each other out to start the first 5 minutes, and then after that, it's been go, go, go. For Matthew, it's a long goal kick. And looks to be an awarded free kick to FC Miami.
Take a look at the stands out there. This is, I mean, they're still just really trickling in here. It looks like a great, maybe record attendance here tonight.
Filled in what they call the Big Red Arrow Club here. These seats in front of us have filled in really well. They're chairback benches, and a lot of good fans here out to support the local side, Brilla, and a great support group in the Blue Battalion to our bottom right have been loud and have put a good throat behind Brilla. Alexander Joseph looks to be the free kick taker for FC Miami. He's asking for the wall to be pushed back. I look to be at 10 yards. They're at what would be the 11-yard line of a football field, and don't know quite what he was looking for there. He'll take it and screams it into the wall.
Yeah, you think after that extra foot he wanted there, he'd at least try to get around the wall.
Crossed in, and it's so missed.
I tell you what, if he hadn't gone for a bicycle type kick there, that would have probably been a goal there. I think he maybe went for a little too much there.
Brian Pereira inside the 6-yard box made a lot of Brilla fans gasp as he nearly put the visitors from Miami on top in the second semifinal. But instead, it's a goal kick for Jordan Bell as we remain tied 0-0 in the 19th minute. Tambini on the ball, shields his defender. Well played, but is intercepted by Pereira, who gets it into play. Back out to the captain. With his shot is deflected by Michael Gonzalo. Christopher Davis is tackled hard, but it's well won because he had the ball first. Duez attempted to get him behind, but was unable to do so. A shot more like a pass, and it's cleared out by Calderwood of Brilla.
Yeah, that wasn't a very pretty shot there, that's for sure.
Ryan Paredo will take the throw in for FC Miami. Ignacio Flores showing a lot of effort there to swoop in and clear it out.
A little miscommunication there. Had a little run in there with two Brilla players.
Out to Calderwood, who gets it in to, I believe, Sergio Garces. Kalangoli gives chase. And continues to give chase, winning the ball back, helping Calderwood. Nike is a proud sponsor of the PDL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. You can also follow the USL PDL on Twitter at USL PDL to become a PDL League insider. Join club conversations and track notable alumni through their pro careers. That's on Twitter at USL PDL. Looks like we have an injury down there. Somebody for Mississippi Brilla who is a little touched up. It looks to be Manuel Saiz. Also have a chance for a water break here for both sides.
Well, it's an interesting first 20 minutes or so here of this game. A really high level of intensity. Pace is much faster than what was going on in the first game for sure. It's going to be a really exciting game here, I think, start to finish.
And again, similar to the last match, you have to wonder when that first goal comes. Will it be late? Will it be in the near future? We don't know. Can't see into the future. Don't have my crystal ball, but you'd have to wonder how that changes the game. Second half goal, first half goal, all changes the aspect of the game every time those goals occur, and you're going to just have to keep an eye on that. But as of right now, we're tied 0-0 in the 22nd minute.
Polk Dental Center, Merit Health, Jackson Pulmonary Associates, Renaissance Bank, Soccer Shop, Trustmark Bank, Adams and Reese, Escagni Wealth Management, Paul Moak, Fair Construction, Affordable Lending Group, and State Farm Agent Tim Brooks.
Alexander Joseph plays that free kick long, and it's a free kick for Brilla.
Make the Southern Conference Championships. We have James Stringer, Renaissance Bank, Edwin Price, Chick-fil-A, Phil Buffington, C-Spot, The Dental Play, Gene Prather,
Jordan Bell plays this one long. Calderwood now is playing on the near side. He was the right back, now playing the left back for Brilla. They'll continue to march it up the field after that throw-in was knotted out by FC Miami. Kellen Gully looks to win this throw-in. Kind of trapped in that corner, gets it out to Saiz, or Cruz, excuse me. Calderwood will give chase along with the captain, Brian Perea of Miami. Gets it back to Jordan Bell. It's a throw-in for Brilla and a very dangerous 50-50 challenge there from Christopher Davis. Never like to see somebody get parallel with the ground. Need those feet or under you to land them. Cruz on the ball. Nice movement along the line to keep it in. Christopher Davis on the ball. He's been active for Miami and wins a free kick. There's Eduardo Cruz on the foul. Patrick Lopez will put it down for Miami. A nice effort there to get up and down from Ezekiel Zaldua. Number 27 for Miami. He's done well.
He has. He's really he's characteristically sneaking behind that last man and just kind of being where he needs to be and the ball being played to him in good positions there. It's interesting to watch because Brilla's got, more of the older, like methodical approach to things, and Miami City looks like they're going out looking for an early strike and maybe a little less experienced with these bigger games, but maybe just as dramatic with method.
Miami remains in possession as they'll swing the ball across fields and into their own bench. And Calderwood will graciously grab that ball and throw it in for Brilla. And Saiz flicked that on, expecting somebody to be there, and luckily his team still maintains possession as Michael Gonzalo swings it to Ignacio Flores. Now to Tambini. And it's Eduardo Cruz on the ball. He'll swing it out wide. And now Ezekiel Zaldua on the ball. Swings it into his captain, Brian Perea, who is unable to manage a good touch on the ball. And he deflects it off himself for a Brilla goal kick. For the majority of this first half, Miami has definitely been on the front foot, and as you mentioned, has been more willing to get it over and more direct with their attack than Brilla has, and in that case, they have had a little more opportunity on goal.
It definitely looks like, Will, they're willing to take a few more chances here. They maybe go with a few balls that maybe not the highest percentage, but hoping that would pay off for them on these balls. A few of them have been very dangerous for sure.
Tambini, back to Tambini, to Calderwood. Gonzalo to Dustin Ashley, Brilla's captain. Ignacio Flores. Brilla very, very methodically keeping possession, swinging the field, switching it. Beanie gets back on the ball. It's Dustin Ashley. Back to Michael Gonzalo. That'll be a corner kick for Brilla. Great combination there between Sergio Arroyo and the right back, Ignacius Flores. Short corner kick, finds Kellen Gully. It's a shot, and it's well wide.
That was a missile there.
But Sergio Arroyo had many of these Brilla fans believing that that missile could have been on target and could have been what broke the 0-0 tie here in the 29th minute. But instead, Florian Matthew with the goal kick. PDL produced a list of the 16 players to watch, and Sergio Arroyo was one of those guys, and stats don't lie. Second, tied for leading scorer for Mississippi Brilla, also the points leader during the regular season, and he sure has put a spark in the past few minutes of this game. Brian Perea shielding the ball. Ignacius Flores, who will get it up to Kellen Gully, who causes a rushed clearance and a Mississippi Brilla throw-in. Sergio Arroyo to Kellen Gully.
Oh,
He's all over that jersey.
yeah. He had a couple handfuls, I think, of the jersey on that one.
We'll trade him after the game. And that's a yellow card. Brandish it to Daniel Gonzalez of Miami, number 33. Looks to be about 30 yards out. Standing over is Sergio Arroyo, who is from Spain. And looks to maybe want to put one on frame as Florian Matthew settles his three-man wall. And he does put it on frame, and it's over the crossbar. But it'd make you skip a heartbeat right there if you're Florian Matthew, because it was well struck and looked to have been a little lower, could have caused a little trouble. A great effort there by Sergio Arroyo. Brilla seeming in the past 5 minutes to have taken this game by the horns. You see Miami's kind of off balance, and Brilla seems to be in a good form. I mentioned to you before the game, John, that we were thinking about, rust and how long, being off can be. The last game for Brilla was, I believe, back on July 11th against the Houston Dutch Lions. Of course, it was a 4-0 win for Brilla, but 4-1 win, on Saturday, July 11th. But you have to be concerned about such a long break.
Sure, I mean, that definitely would probably factor in. Don't want to get any rust on your cleats for sure, getting ready for a big game like this for sure. But, it's really interesting to watch Brilla because they've got such a methodical, experienced approach, the way they're just kind of being real consistent here. And we're watching Miami, they're a little less methodical and a little bit more, gutsy on some of the plays. But just kind of see which style ends up paying off here.
So Miami free kick, 35 yards out from goal. 2 or 3 guys standing over it. So he'll take this, probably be a cross into the 18-yard box more than likely. And probably would have wanted to do something different with that than just a line drive out of bounds.
Yeah, that was pretty uneventful there on that free kick for sure.
You earn it and then you throw it away. Unfortunately, that's what Miami did there, and don't know how many opportunities you're going to get, and you don't want to waste them, especially in a do-or-die semifinal. Jordan Bell knocks it deep, well struck on the goal kick, and Kellen Gully helps wins it. Sergio Arroyo gets it out there to Manuel Saiz. I believe. It'll be a goal kick for Miami. Gonzalo wins the header. And again with the 50-50 challenge, and he wins Brilla a free kick. Arroyo looks to play it quick, but our match official, Mark Dreyfus, asked him to move it back, and quickly played as Eduardo Cruz brings it up the middle. Tambini out to Dustin Ashley, finds Ignacios Flores. A few step overs and a fake cross. And Dustin Ashley swings it out to Michael Gonzalo, to Tambini, out to Calderwood. Brilla with the majority of possessions and has strung together a few more passes than Miami. And they'll maintain it still in spite of Miami's high pressure. Comes up the field. Calderwood gives chase and wins it. That was Manuel Saiz with the header. Sergio Arroyo applies more pressure. That's a gutsy play right there. Well, neat touches there to get through two Miami defenders, and looks to have bunched them up a little bit. It's the 35th minute, 0-0. Excuse me, John.
No problem. It looks like Miami's still trying to get that ball right over on that right side. That seems to be one of their big strategies for sure. Kind of catching it about half field and dropping about 20 yards. Hope for them to run up underneath it there.
We take a water break here in the 36th minute. So we enter the 36 minutes. Mark Dreyfus will keep the time on the field. The clock will continue to run. It'll just be added on to the end of the first half as stoppage or injury time. And we'll take this time to recognize some of Mississippi Brilla's sponsors who have made this weekend possible with the Southern Conference Championship. Those being C-Spire, James Stringer, Phil Buffington, Chris Smith, Renaissance Bank, The Dental Place, Mark Jones, Edwin Price, Gene Prather, Bruce and Susan Bryant, Chick-fil-A, and Parks Family Dentistry. We would be not in good light either if we didn't recognize our regular season sponsors as well. Morgan White Group, Clinton Soccer Association, Chick-fil-A, Safe Flight, Fusion Coffee House, Puma Design Studio, Parks Family Dentistry, the Clinton Courier, Bank Course South, the City of Clinton, the Dental Place, Baptist Sports Care and Physical Therapy, Ergon, Polk Dental Center, Merit Health, Jackson Pulmonary Associates, Renaissance Bank, Soccer Shots, Trustmark Bank, Adams and Reese, Muscagny Wealth Management, Paul Moak, Farrar Construction, Affordable Lending Group, and State Farm Agent Tim Bruss.
So, Will, what do you think? You think we're going to get a goal snuck in here before halftime?
It will have to be more than likely off a free kick. Neither team has done well on the run of play. I think we'll have to have it off of some kind of set piece. And that's just all going to depend on corner kicks and how many fouls. Just to be interested to see. And I'd be tempted here if I was Miami with so many guys up to maybe give a long throw into the mouth of the goal and maybe see what you can come up with in that highly trafficked 18-yard box.
Sure. It looks like they followed your lead there.
I guess I should go into coaching maybe. Well shot and struck.
Just missed.
And it's just wide. I'll try and tell you who shot that. Sometimes the numbers are hard to read up here. According to my roster, that was Hugo LaRue. He was also on that PDL list I mentioned earlier of players to watch in the 4 conference championships. Hugo LaRue, a very talented young player, somebody to keep an eye on.
PDL YouTube channel today.
And Mark Dreyfus is going to issue a yellow card to Eduardo Cruz for that 50-50 challenge there. Anytime you get the bodies flying like that, get them high in the air, it can seem to look a little worse than maybe it actually is. And in that case, though, it's Eduardo Cruz walking away with a yellow card, and you'd have to wonder what Mark McKeever is going to do possibly with somebody on a yellow card. Ignatius Flores wins the ball and slides it to Captain Dustin Ashley. Flores brings it up, looks to find Kellen Gully, and Gully almost was able to chest it down to his teammate, Sergio Arroyo. Whoa, and an attempt out there. Saw Jordan Bell off the line as Carlos Garcias Pereira took full advantage of Jordan Bell being off his line, and whew, you gotta watch that. That's a smart move just to at least give it a go.
Well, and if nothing else, just to try to get him to stay on his line, give them a little bit more space in between the offensive end.
Here comes Jordan Bell, long goal kick. Come by Ignatius Flores in open space, and Jordan Bell satisfied to just pick it up and tell his team to push up in the 40th minute. Still tied 0-0 between the Mississippi Brilla and the Miami City champions. Now the Southeastern Division. Brilla is the Mid-South Division champions. These two teams are hoping to face off against the Ocala Stampede tomorrow at 7:30. The winner of this game gets to face the Ocala Stampede, the defending Southern Conference champions, with hopes of making the USL Premier Development League's national semifinals, which will be contested next weekend.
Looks like we got about 5 minutes left to play here in the first half, so let's see if we can get any excitement, any action down here.
Brian Parada throws it in. And Brian Perea, who has been a menace up top, wins another throw-in for his team as Christopher Davis handles those duties to Brian Perea into the corner, pressured by 2 Brilla defenders, and wins a corner kick. Maybe this is the excitement we were looking for, John.
And Perea has definitely been in a pretty good position most of those times down the field for sure.
Always good to see the captain leading by example, causing stuff to happen, orchestrating an attack. Have a Miami City player down there looking to do a short corner kick, but it'll instead go long, and long enough to where nobody touches it, and out for a throw-in in the far corner for Brilla.
You hate just to blow away those chances when you get, work hard to get a corner kick like that. Just totally kick it to the other side of the field like that. Can't be excited about that.
Second consecutive set piece that we've seen them kind of squander or kind of throw away. That free kick earlier where they just drived it out of Dodge, but they'll win it with Ezekiel Zalmuda crossing it into Brian Perea, but it looks like Calderwood is quicker to it.
Brilla's just unable to get a counterattack going here. That's what we really need to see take place on the Brilla side here. Just getting kind of stalled every time they get a chance at it.
And definitely Miami City has been satisfied just to have Brilla possess it in their back third, even in their middle third. They're going to have some kind of quick movement or something, as you mentioned, a counterattack or some neat ball into that final third to cause a goal-scoring opportunity. Put out to Calderwood, who is intercepted. Manuel Saiz gets the ball back into play for Brilla, who will bring it up into Miami's side of the pitch. Kellangoli on it now after many feet had touched it. Tambini fighting some more and wins it back to Dustin Ashley. Ashley with a long ball in behind Miami, and out to get it is Florian Matthew. He needs to watch the 18-yard box. Had an earlier situation in the first half where many might argue a free kick should have been rewarded to Brilla. Ezekiel Zaldua kind of unwilling to sprint onto that ball, maybe a little touch too heavy, but gave up chase, and Jordan Bell will get it under his feet and press his team up in the 44th minute. Still tied 0-0 between Mississippi Brilla and FC Miami City champions. Very nice crowd, and good to hear the Blue Battalion cheering on their team, and with those drums and rhythmic beats. Kellangoli dragged down there, gets back up. Handball. Caught on Tambini.
That might have been a good handball to give there. He was a little bit out of position. I think if that hadn't been called, we might have had a little bit more offensive going from Miami City there.
The counterattack was definitely on, and sometimes a timely whistle can really help you. Miami City with the throw-in as Carlos Garcias Potato throws it in. Errant shot by Daniel Gonzalez well over the goal. Injury time, I would assume maybe a minute, 2 minutes of stoppage time added on into the first half. Still 0-0 before halftime between FC Miami City and Mississippi Brilla. Calderwood wins a throw-in. Gonzalo. Eduardo Cruz to Royo. Dr. Calderwood switches fields. Kellangoli calls for the ball and he receives it. Shields off his defender, looks to create something with his own feet, and wins a throw-in for halftime. Maybe a long throw-in. Probably not, though, as multiple Brilla jerseys are around. Kellangoli breaks for the corner. Nice footwork there to create space. And now another good chance for Brilla as Calderwood will throw it in. Not too many jerseys up front, maybe just satisfied with the 0-0 tie. Miami City throw it. Another FC Miami City throw in as they move further up the field on their own half. Michael Gonzalo wins the ball. Tambini clears it up. Kellangoli battles for it, gets it down to his teammate Manuel Saiz. Tambini. Gonzalo to Tambini. Tambini rushes it up, tries to slide the ball in behind Miami. A great opportunity here before half. It's cleared out by Miami. Gonzalez steps up, wins it. In Miami's half, out to Ignatius Flores. Looks to be Manuel Saiz on the ball. Wins a corner kick. Correction, a goal kick. And that will do it as Mark Dreyfus blows the first half to end. So it's the Mid-South champion, Mississippi Brilla 0, and the runner-up in the Southeast Division, FC Miami City champions 0. As we head to halftime, hopefully we'll have some more action to bring you in the next 45 minutes. But again, it's Mississippi Brilla 0 and FC Miami City champions 0. Welcome back to the second half of the Southern Conference Championships second semifinal between the Mississippi Brilla and the FC Miami City champions. Brilla gets it underway. They'll be attacking from the north end of Arrow Field in Clinton, Mississippi, as Jordan Bell clears it long and to a Miami City player. It's Gonzalo out to Ignatius Flores. Ball deflects off of Miami and goes out of bounds for a Brilla throw-in. Again, I'm Will Nations. I'm joined by John Goolsby here in the booth. We'll be guiding you through this second half. Kellen Gully gives chase. And it's back to Florian Matthew, the Miami City goalkeeper. How did you think the first half played out, John?
Well, I think it was a little bit unexpected. You know, I didn't know exactly what I was going to see and how they'd come out, but, you know, Miami City definitely came out, seemed like maybe a little bit less experienced team. You know, the way they came out took a lot more chances, but also had a lot of intensity in their play. Whereas Brilla kind of methodically approached, you know, kind of building up to try to score. So it's just really two different approaches. I'd really love to have heard what they talked about in the locker room, because I think both teams may try to do a little bit more of what the other team did in the first half.
Maybe the main message at halftime, though, is get that first goal. We don't want to be behind at any point in the second half. I think that probably echoed through both locker rooms, and I'm sure that, you know, hey, we need to pick up the pace, or hey, we need to string a little bit more passes together was also echoed, kind of mirror each other. Brilla's Jordan Bell will get possession here and look to play it, and probably will play it long. He's done that multiple times since the first half. Calderwood flicks it on. Calderwood in behind, and Kellen Gully gives chase.
Gully has great field presence, knowing exactly where he is. That was a great pass back without even looking, just kind of knowing where his player was.
Gully has probably, though he's a young guy, around 21 years old, he has experienced the game a lot more than probably some players. A former Chicago Fire player and was loaned out to Atlanta Silverbacks. He was a professional player before many of us were even in college. But he is a definite talent from here in Mississippi. What they would call a homegrown player in the MLS. Cambini wins the ball back for Brilla. Gives it to Michael Gonzalo. And that's in behind for Manuel Saiz. Looks like there's an injured player down for Miami City.
I'm not really sure what happened there. Sure, I just saw that he was down there when they went down with the play there.
It was Alexander Joseph who went down after giving chase to Manuel Saiz. As Ignatius Flores to do the honors of a throw-in. Might be a long throw-in here. He's rather far back from the touchline, and he throws it into the 18-yard box. Cleared out. Michael Gonzalo clears it. And again, those direct passes from FC Miami. And Ezekiel Zaldua gives chase. Stay up to date with what is happening throughout the league at uslpdl.com. That is uslpdl.com to stay up to date with what's happening throughout the Premier Development League. Thrown into Zaldua. And an easy ball to handle there for Jordan Bell. Done extremely well in just managing his part of the game, his 18 yards, track of the field. Out to Flores, plays it back to Royo, to Gully. That'll be offsides. He was coming from an offside position there, and rightfully so, whistled for the infraction.
Looks like Miami City's got their bench up and warming up too, so maybe I'll see some substitutions here in a few minutes.
We saw that earlier in the first semifinal, John, and the Midland Odessa made the most substitutions, but they also made substitutions that impacted the game, and as well as Ocala did with Will Roberts, number 20 for Ocala. He came in and he was a fresh pair of legs. So I think fresh pairs of legs are going to be critical. And I've watched Mark McKeever, though. He's more of a late substitution guy. He's not going to put him in probably until about 60th or 70th minute. So as we can tell, the two tails of benches right there. One with guys with the subs on the bench, and one with guys constantly warming up, doing some calisthenics to our right. Flores gains possession. Gets this to Royo. Royo back to Flores. Nice moves, and he's beaten 2 defenders. Switches it to Calderwood. And a great effort to keep it in play, but it's just too much pace on the ball.
Looks like both teams have settled in a little bit more. You know, the first half there's a lot of kind of feeling each other out, but it looks like they're both kind of settled in, kind of have a little bit more intentions of what they're planning on doing.
That familiarity, 45 minutes can do that, and it's definitely done it in this one as Flores brings the ball up. Kelangoli shields his defender. Goes back to Royo. Flores to Gully.
Great pass.
A little combination play to get it to Eduardo Cruz, who's again off sides. Eduardo Cruz, for delaying the play of that free kick, is issued a yellow card from Mark Dreyfus, our head match official.
Caution shown to Brilla, number 12, Carlos Garces.
Florian Matthews to take the offsides free kick. See what he does. He probably will play it long, as any goalkeeper with a free kick and a chance to change field position does. And now it's a foul called against Michael Gonzalo of Brilla, and FC Miami has a limping Christopher Davis on the pitch. But anytime you can earn a free kick, you're willing to maybe take a little one for the team. Garcia Partida swerves it in, flicked on by Ezekiel Zaldua, but nothing doing for the FC Miami City champions. Kind of rolls off the tongue there. FC City Miami champions. Jordan Bell to take the goal kick for Brilla. He's done that often. Up to Manuel Saiz. Kelangoli runs on to the end of it. And will be a Brilla throw-in after Alexander Joseph does well defending the former Atlanta Silverback and Chicago Fire player. Kelangoli. Flores to Royo. Gully attempted to beat 2 defenders there, but it's hard to beat 2 when it's only 1. Tambini. It'll be Brilla's throw-in, maintaining possession on a humid, balmy night here at Arrow Field in Clinton, Mississippi.
I'm sure both these teams were glad they had the later time slot for sure, though. That 5 o'clock game or 5:30 game was pretty intense heat-wise.
I have not seen an actual statistical, or I guess a numeral to describe the heat, but when for this game, but when it's 95 degrees and feels like 114 in that first semifinal, it has to be hot. Kalangoli well over the goal, but might have been the best chance for Brilla in the second half and maybe tonight's second semifinal.
Yeah, and that was definitely a difficult ball coming in, so he did good to make contact. That was a really good try there for him.
And well done by Eduardo Cruz in face of 2 or 3 defenders in front of him, being able to get that ball across the 18 and giving Kalangoli the shot at a goal. And Kalangoli is no stranger to finishing in front of goal. He scored a wonder goal back in June where he flicked it with the back of his heel into the net right by that W where Arrows is written across the field. Mark Dreyfus does not like what he sees as the captain, Brian Perea, is on the turf. Looks as he's waving on the physio for FC Miami. Unsure what's happened out there, but I suspect we'll see something a little more medical as the physio checks on his player. More than likely a cramp. But pointing to his knee. Do not want to have something worse than a cramp, for sure.
We would like to say a special thank you to those sponsors who have helped make the Southern Conference Championships.
Become a
reality.
fan of the PDL on
James
Facebook.
Stringer,
Visit
Bill
facebook.com/USLPDL for exclusive league news and interactive content. That's USLPDL for exclusive league news and interactive content through Facebook.
And Parks Family Dentistry.
And you can also follow the USLPDL at USLPDL on Twitter to become a PDL League insider, join club conversations, and track notable alumni through their pro careers.
Looks like Perea is going to going to come out for just a few minutes here and see if he can get back in.
Hope that it's nothing more than just a little nick on his leg or knee. Would hate to see anything worse. And there he is back at the still a little cautious on that leg, but good to see him trot back onto the field. That's a positive there for FC Miami. Matthew with a long punt up the field. That's won by Tambini, but falls back into FC Miami possession as Christopher Davis brings it up the field. Beats one, beats two, and is not fouled. Looked to be a foul, but is not a foul in the eyes of Mark Dreyfus. Throw in for Calderwood. Brilla. Michael Gonzalo maintains possession. Long ball intended for Manuel Saiz. And it's a Brilla throw-in. Ignatius Flores on the ball to Saiz. Saiz shields. Heads towards the goal line. And Tambini applies pressure. Nice technical skill there from Ezekiel Saldua. Pass from Eduardo Cruz back to Cruz. To Royo, who is intercepted by Garcias Partida and is fouled. A hard foul on Garcias Partida. Looks as if Alexander Joseph will handle the free kick duties. As 7 or 8 Miami FC players are well up the field. Brian Perea fights for the ball. And it's cleared out by Brilla's John Calderwood. Christopher Davis with the throw in. And that's just a clearance just to get out of your own side of the field. Kellen Goley presses. Brought down by Michael Gonzalo. Heavy touch. And it rolls out for a Miami throw-in. As we mentioned earlier, very good crowd. Good to hear from the Mississippi Brilla's Blue Battalion as they have cheered on their side throughout the game. Calderwood has to throw in. What does Brilla have to do probably to find a way to crack Miami's defense?
I think for sure it looks like they need a little bit better, more crisp passes, a little bit better build-up on their offensive attack. And it looks like the other part is it looks like their midfield's having a little bit of trouble just connecting passes and containing and controlling the midfield. Looks like Miami City's got a little bit more room to kind of breathe on them right now.
Tambini's going to have to kind of start that. He's that sitting back defensive midfielder of sorts. And I think he's kind of have to become the maestro per se of this attack. He's done well defending, but he's got to find a way to get this team put together. And Cruz with a dangerous run, but it's mopped up by Victor Norildo. Ezekiel Zaldua down the far side, looks to cross, and Dustin Ashley there heads it away, and it's a FC Miami corner kick in a dangerous position. In the 63rd minute, it's still 0-0 between Mississippi Brilla and FC Miami. Hugo LaRue heads towards the far side corner and will take this corner for the FC Miami City champions. He's also joined by Daniel Gonzalez.
Let's see if they can get the corner kick here served up nicely this time. Well, they've had come all the way through.
Seems to find a head, but Jordan Bell on his line, covers the near post well, and gives a big boot up the field where Kellen Goley is, fighting for it, wins it, and continues to press. And that's well done by number 9, Kellen Goley, to win a corner kick. From corner kick to corner kick, now Brilla with the scoring opportunity on their side of the field.
I definitely like the chances for Brilla here. Their set pieces have been much more crisp than Miami City tonight so far. So let's see if they can get a good touch on the ball here.
Sergio Arroyo joins Eduardo Cruz, who stands over the ball, breaks back. Probably be a ball whipped into short cross. Eduardo Cruz wins a throw-in for Brilla.
Well, that's really not what you want out of a corner kick opportunity there. Going from a corner kick to now you get a throw-in. So,
and trapped into the corner there, really not too much you can do because all FC Miami has to do is remain in defensive position, and they'll make a break, but it's cleared out. And Matthew comes up to gather it. Thrown out to Hugo LaRue.
just an observation here. It looks like Miami City's doing a much better job as far as on counterattack having the numbers more towards their side. We're usually having 1 or 2 up on the Brilla side, but they're usually attacking with 3 or 4 and giving a much more pressing attack there.
And the formations look to be differing as Brilla has 5 guys almost in a pentagon configuration there with Tambini playing the holding middle midfielder and defending that back 4 while Kellingoli is up front. And in comparison, it's Miami City with 3 guys sitting on that back line.
Yeah, and every time they move above half field, it looks like they all have another 1 or 2 that usually come up with support too. So it looks like the numbers wise, they're putting a lot more pressure on Brilla than they did the first half, the way they're doing it.
A lot. Only 2 defenders holding back, almost a 2-6-2 or something that FC Miami has employed.
Yeah, and with us only keeping 1 high there, it allows them to bring more people on the offensive part of the field.
Kellen Gully has done well, though, as that lone attacker, lone forward. He's applied a lot of pressure, but you got to worry that he might not be able to have all that gas when it comes to a later period in time. Gonzalo to Royo. Out to Manuel Saiz. Saiz on the ball, wins a Brilla throw-in. Little exchange there between Manuel Saiz and Miami's Ezekiel Zaldua. That Mark Dreyfus comes in, blows his whistle, says, "Hey guys, time to calm down. Just a ball game." Royo back to Ignatius Flores, who plays it forward, wins it back after a clearing header. Cheeky move there. There's Eduardo Zaldua giving chase, but letting it go out for a throw-in. Mark McKeever handing the ball to Ignatius Flores. McKeever, in his first season as the head coach of Brilla, has guided the team to a 6-3-3 record in the regular season and its first division championship since 2011. Coach at Young Harris College, a team that went 19-1-1 in 2014. Tambini on the ball. Out to John Calderwood.
Now we're seeing Brilla bring up a much better numbers here on the offensive end.
Eduardo Cruz finds space and passes it to no one. It's Zaldua on the ball. Trying to find Brian Perea. And you cannot react like that if you're Tambini. Mark Dreyfus has shown that he is not afraid to hand out the cards. Has cooled off significantly, it feels like. This current temperature is 87 degrees.
That's a big difference, having the sun going down. These teams definitely a little bit better off not having to be under the heat of the sun.
And has attracted a lot more fans out. Anytime you can have 87 degrees in Mississippi and not really too much humidity, you're going to attract the fans. And also a team that's proven to be a competitor throughout this summer has attracted the fans out. Royo out to Ignatius Flores, who drives the ball forward. Finds Kellen Gully, who's overstretched and loses the ball. It's Flores. Back to Dustin Ashley. To Tambini. Eduardo Cruz wins the ball and shoots, but not nearly close to the frame of the goal. And Matthew, the goalkeeper for Miami, barely had to do anything as he watched that sail way wide.
Eduardo is one of those dangerous players you got to watch, though. It doesn't take him a second, and next thing you know, he'll have the ball in the back of the net there. So hopefully he can get a little more dangerous here towards the end of the game here and see if we can get a goal in there for Mississippi Brilla.
And what you also see out of that was he made 2 or 3 extra moves towards the ball while everybody else was watching. Eduardo broke for the ball, and that extra effort gave him that chance on goal. Royo out to Manuel Saiz. Brilla has numbers. He crosses it to Kellen Gully, and it's a save by Matthew. What a foot save. Excellent effort from Brilla on the counterattack. Kellen Gully almost almost broke this deadlock in the
could just-
71st minute.
Yeah, you could just see the buildup on that. That was an exciting exchange there.
Back to Ignatius Flores. And you might feel that Brilla has the upper hand right now. Manuel Saiz loses the ball as Miami takes over. Brian Perea back on the ball after receiving a pass from Hugo LaRue, who is breaking towards his left. Perea sails it over the top of the goal. And 2 chances here in the 71st minute. This game has opened up. We thought that it might open up, and it definitely has. Looks like we have some substitutions. Former Madison Central High School standout, Mr. Soccer 2011 for the Clarion Ledger, Stephen Roberson steps onto the field, an extra forward. Wonder what Mark McKeever's thoughts were behind that.
You know, I think that may be a perfect move. We'll have to see here in just a few minutes, but I know the local crowd excited to have him on the field for sure.
Actually played with Stephen Roberson. He was an excellent player, very good, and played his collegiate soccer at Mississippi College and also at the University of Tulsa. Another cramping player for
Substitution
Miami.
For Brilla. Coming into the game, number 3, Stephen Roberson. Leaving the game, number 15, Manu Saez.
Daniel Del Rio checks in for FC Miami City at the scorers table. Dip Paul the fourth official, will get him into the match. We'll probably have a water break as well, as we did in the first half here in the 72nd minute. Wasn't until the 80th minute of the first semifinal that Ocala found the game winner against Midland Odessa, the runner-up of the Mid-South Division. Could be a similar situation here between Mississippi Brilla and the FC Miami City
Substitution for Miami.
champions.
Coming into the game, number 3, Daniel Del Rio. Leaving the game, number 5, Alexander Joseph.
That was Daniel Del Rio entering the game, number 3 for Miami. And number 5, Alexander Joseph, who has done a proper job of playing defender for the champions. Jordan Bell directing traffic. Mishit that. That's the first one that he's mishit. Royo fights for the ball and wins it. Roberson making a run, and he finds space. Kellen Gully in the frame of goal. And that's why you put Stephen Roberson in the game.
Yeah, that's a difference maker for sure right there. You can see a lot more intensity, a lot higher level going on out here right now, and it looks like Brilla's had 2 good attacks here in the last 3 or 4 minutes here.
So Sergio Arroyo looks to take this corner kick, and more than likely he's whipping it in with his left foot. Roughly 5 or 6 Brilla players in the mixer. Swings it in. Looks to have gone off Ezekiel Zaldua's head, but rather it's whistled off a Mississippi Brilla's head, and it is a FC Miami City goal kick.
I have a feeling this is going to be an exciting last 15 minutes here.
Still not at 0-0 in the 75th, and I foresee a race to this game, a quick conclusion for sure. The pace has been up. A physical challenge there, and it's whistled by Mark Dreyfus.
And the Blue Battalion not giving him any room, calling him Bieber out there.
And it's Hugo LaRue over the ball. I believe it may have called Ezekiel Zaldua Justin Bieber. He has a very interesting haircut, swoop to the left with blonde highlights. To each their own. Breaks through, shot on goal, and it's well wide. Carlos Garcia's Partida has been an active member of this second half and has caused a lot of havoc in the middle third of the field for Mississippi Brilla.
And he had a great look at the goal there. Just missed it just a little bit wide there, 2 or 3 yards maybe at the most.
And at the score table is number 25, Mohammed bin Zakur. Correction, number 26, Zachary Merzak is at the scores table for Miami. As we enter the actual water break, the clock will continue to run, as I was told before the first semifinal, that the clock will continue to run under Mark Dreyfus, but stoppage time will be kept on the field as the second half comes to its conclusion. The 76th minute is still 0-0 between Mississippi Brilla
Coming
and
into
FC
the game,
Miami.
Number 26, Mercer. Leaving the game, number 27, Saldua.
It'll be interesting to see if they make any changes here in the last 10 to 15 minutes here. Bria's made some major changes in the last 5, and it's definitely started to pay off a little bit. So
Miami's made 2 changes with Daniel Del Rio coming into the match
Another
and
substitution.
Zachary Merzak entering, but
Alejandro Hernandez.
it makes you
Leaving the
wonder.
game, number 11, Brian Perez.
It makes you wonder if Miami has injected anybody into the game that is going to impact it, such as Steven Roberson did with that run down the near side.
yeah, I mean that's one of the things. As soon as he came in the game, it was about a minute and a half, and you saw some significant results from that.
Also entering the game for Miami was Alejandro Hernandez. Saldua wins the ball back. Correction. Substitute for Miami. Miami with numbers, trying to find Hernandez, Alejandro Hernandez, but Dustin Ashley is in better position, wins a Brilla throw-in, and that is Ignacios Flores handling the duties. To Royo. Royo did not combine well there. And this opportunity that Jordan Bell handles so well. And also Dustin Ashley doing well not to award a corner kick.
That was 2 huge plays there for sure. Incredible save by Bell.
That'll get the fans fired up. Offense puts them in the seats, but defense wins championships, and right there, we keep the score knotted in the 79th minute, 0-0. Kellen Gully chests it down. Continues to play with Royo. Now it's John Calderwood on the ball, bringing it up. Roberson timing his run and is not receiving the ball. Nike is a proud sponsor of the PDL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. You can also follow the PDL on YouTube. YouTube is the league's official online video home, offering live games and feature content. Subscribe for free to the PDL YouTube channel today. Kellen Gully on the ball. Plays it to Eduardo Cruz, who just knocked it up the field. And nothing doing. Ignacios Flores will grab the ball for a throw-in. Royo on the ball, shields his defender. Nice move. Royo maintains possession. Ignacios Flores. There's a Brilla throw-in. Eduardo Cruz has it. I think I heard Mark McKeever issue everybody into the box. He uttered that from the sidelines, but Ignacio Flores still on the ball. To Royo. Nice skill there as they maintain possession under Dustin Ashley. Ignacios Flores in behind, looks to cross, beats his... And I'm unsure what was called there. It was an off-the-ball foul, I believe. Offsides was not issued, but I think it was a off-the-ball foul, maybe against Kellen Gully or Sergio Arroyo.
Not sure on that one. I was watching the line to see if it was going to go up for offsides. It was close, but didn't see what the call was.
The assistant referee definitely did not raise his flag, and I thought Mark Dreyfus said, hey, he pulled on his shirt, but I do not know for sure. Brilla player down, back up. Eduardo Cruz gives chase. Hugo LaRue. Hernandez. Arroyo loses possession as Victor Naraldo races up the field to Hernandez, I believe. Ezekiel Zaldua loses the ball. Ignacios Flores, it looks like the counterattack could be on. A lot of numbers. Steven Roberson finds the ball. Roberson continues to press. Out to Ignacios Flores. And has to be a call. That was Patrick Lopez with the unnecessary tackle.
Getting a lot more physical here the last few minutes here.
You mentioned familiarity. I think the more time they're on the field together, I think they're learning more about each other. And Eduardo Cruz races down the near side, crosses it in. Kellen Gully sticks his foot out. And again, you would think third time was the charm, but it's not. Sergio Arroyo, Eduardo Cruz on the ball there. Similar cleats. Him and Sergio Arroyo, Eduardo Cruz, and Sergio Arroyo have similar cleats. Hugo LaRue brings the ball forward. Ignacios Flores wins the ball as Tambini looks to pass it. Finds Sergio Arroyo. Out to Eduardo Cruz. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps overs. To Gully, back to Cruz. Through to Roberson.
Great.
And he's offsides just by a shoulder. So close.
That was very close. I didn't expect the call there on that one, for sure. Have you noticed the difference in the Brilla's been attacking with much greater numbers here in the last 5-10 minutes since Roberson came on? And it looks like Miami City's done just the opposite. They've kind of scaled back their offensive attack.
I wonder if fatigue or hoping to get it to a overtime period might be playing a factor in that. 84th minute. Still 0-0 between Miami and Mississippi Brilla. And definitely Roberson has been an injection of pace, fresh legs. He's done his absolute best to help Brilla push forward. Peter Okachu from England is on the near side for Brilla in the red shoes, red cleats. I've been saying he's Eduardo Cruz, but that is actually Peter Ochokwu entering the game for
Substitution for Miami. Coming
For
into the
Miami
game,
is-
number 8, Manuel Rodriguez.
is Manuel
Leaving the game,
Rodriguez.
Number 33, Danny Gonzalez.
Danny Gonzalez, number 33 for Miami, exited the game, replaced by Manuel Rodriguez. Rodriguez loses the ball, and this is a Brilla throw in to Cruz, excuse me. Gully shields off his defender and turns. Okochu. And Royo lets that slide through. Should have had a touch on that. Daniel Del Rio knocks the ball up to Perea, who turns his defender. Hernandez cuts, comes inside, and loses it. But instead, it will be a free kick. Mark Dreyfus trying his best not to lose control of this game. Suppose he's blown a few more fouls than he has earlier. Hugo LaRue asks Garcia Partida if he needs him over the ball, but I think Garcia Partida will remain over it. One of those efforts off the volley that sails well wide and no danger at all. So we get closer to the 88th minute. It remains Mississippi Brilla 0, FC Miami City Champions 0. Mississippi Brilla would like to recognize those sponsors who have supported us all year and all summer. Morgan White Group, Clinton Soccer Association, Chick-fil-A, Safelite, Fusion Coffee House, Crema Design Studio, Parks Family Dentistry, the Clinton Courier, Bank Course South, the City of Clinton, the Dental Place, Baptist Sports Care and Physical Therapy, Ergon, Polk Dental Center, Merit Health, Jackson Pulmonary Associates, Renaissance Bank, Soccer Shots, Trustmark Bank, Adams and Reese, Muscagny Wealth Management, Paul Moak, Farrar Construction, Affordable Lending Group, and State Farm Agent Tim Bruss. Hernandez had won that ball in the midfield, but it's a Brilla throw-in. Kellen Gully on the ball. Gully.
We're definitely getting close to time here. It's about where the goal, though, for the previous game was scored.
Hernandez back on the ball. Takes a untimely shot, well far from the goal. To Dustin Ashley, the Racine, Wisconsin native. Gambini. John Calderwood watches that one go well wide. He was the target, and it goes out of bounds for a Miami City throw-in. Gambini has that deflected off, and it goes to Jordan Bell. He'll probably punt this. Eduardo Cruz. It's Roberson breaking free. And Roberson has just been absolutely delightful to watch since he's entered the game around the 65th, 70th minute.
Yeah, he's added a lot of dimension to the Brilla front line up there for sure.
And as we get closer to the conclusion of this 90th minute in regulation time, we'd like to say that in the 2015 PDL playoff rules, overtime will consist of 2 full 15-minute halves. It is not sudden death, and it's not golden goal. Kicks from the penalty mark shall be used if the match remains tied at the completion of overtime.
4 minutes of stoppage time.
4 minutes of stoppage time. There's Chukwu giving chase as Florian Matthew swings into his arms. They just announced over the PA, and I might have just said it, but 4 minutes of added time has been tacked on to this second half. And we're still not at 0-0 between Mississippi Brilla and FC Miami. Alejandro Hernandez, still on the ball. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. That is a foul, and it's not the time to be fouling near the box late in regulation.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. That was not the type foul you want to give, especially at this point in the game.
And having played so well, that's just a mistake, an error that Mark McKeever and his coaching staff wish would not have happened. So standing over the ball for Miami looks to be Carlos Garcia. Partida sweeps it in. It's a shot on goal, and Jordan Bell saves it. He's challenged for the ball. And you can't cause too much irritation to a goalkeeper when you have a 50-50 ball like that. Great awareness and a great save from Jordan Bell, the Scottish goalkeeper. Had an earlier save too on a one-on-one that kept this game knotted at 0-0. He's done well this second half in keeping FC Miami off the scoreboard.
And that ball was struck really well. He did a good job just to get a hand on there and knocked it up, and then came back down right pretty much on him and had to make the second save there.
Seems as if maybe 2 minutes of this 4 minutes added time have elapsed. John Calderwood races for the ball along with Ezekiel Zaldua. Dustin Ashley heads it away. Brought down by Tambini. And the ball intended for Kelangoli finds the feet of Victor.
Miami City with a counterattack here.
And Tambini, who has played that holding defender, sweeps it outside. Has done well as that defending midfielder protecting that back line. As I said earlier, as we get closer to the end of regulation, in the 2015 PDL playoff rules, as I read it off this rule sheet, overtime will consist of 2 full 15-minute periods and is not sudden death or golden goal. Kicks from the penalty mark shall be used if the match remains tied at the completion of overtime. Looks like Brilla will have one more chance at it as Ignacio Flores attempts a ball over the top, and it's not chased after by any Brilla player, and into the feet of Florian Matthew. I think we're headed to overtime.
It looks like it. I don't see there being more than a few seconds left here in the regulation here.
Kind of like a 12-round boxing match. These two teams have jabbed and jabbed, but nobody's had the haymaker or the knockout blow just yet.
Well, they've
But
definitely
maybe
got a good feel for each other now at this point. They've definitely settled into the game well.
And Mark Dreyfus ends regulation. Overtime. Overtime, here we come. And we're back. This is Will Nations with John Goolsby as we head into 2 overtime periods of 15 minutes. I'd like to announce the attendance for tonight's semifinal of the Southern Conference Championship in the Premier Development League. 1,020 in attendance tonight. That's a great turnout.
Yeah, that's a great turnout for sure. Scott and Rusty are going to be very pleased with that turnout and just the local support for what Brilla is doing here in the community. And in the playoffs here.
Interesting note that we heard over the loudspeaker was Miami's 18 shots to Brilla's 7. I don't think it was that one-sided, or at least it didn't look that way.
No, not at all. In fact, the shots that Brilla did have looked like good quality shots. Again, I'm not a statistician, but didn't seem like it was that one-sided on shots on goal.
But now that they've gone 90 minutes, they've jabbed and jabbed back and forth, and they've had opportunities in front of goal. Brilla 3 with Kellen Goley there in the 6-yard box, and Miami with plenty of chances with set pieces. Who do you think has the upper hand, or is it just still even Stevens?
It looks pretty even to me. I think they're both going to come out here cautious, but waiting for that knockout punch here. So I'm anxious to see what happens. Brilla's coach has been definitely doing some changes in the formation and a number of attacking players. It'd be interesting to see if he leaves it as it was at the end of the second half or does any other changes through substitution.
Well, just like in the first half, it's Miami kicking this overtime period off. Miami, if you're just now joining us, is in all white, attacking from the south end of Arrow Field here in Clinton, Mississippi. And it's Brilla defending the north end, attacking to the south. Brilla learned they were going to host the Southern Conference Championships on Monday and have been extremely excited for the opportunity and hoping to give these 1,020 fans in attendance something to cheer about and something to walk away with, knowing that they have a shot at a Southern Conference Championship against the Ocala Stampede tomorrow at 7:30 right here.
Yeah, and I think that would be just a great excitement to have that opportunity to play in that final tomorrow for sure. So hopefully Mississippi Brilla can pull this out.
Ignacius Flores on the ball as this overtime period gets underway. And it's Calderwood on the ball after a few aerial challenges there. Miami continues to hold possession. Swings it out wide to Hugo LaRue, who tried to bring that down into his possession with his head, but did not do that. Ignacius Flores throws into Dustin Ashley as the first minute of overtime comes to a conclusion. As wide open as it was in the concluding minutes of the second half. Stephen Roberson looking to get open. Kellen Goley on the ball. And he is fouled. Great opportunity here for the Mississippi Brilla.
So that's about, 25, 26 yards out it looks like, maybe
roughly about 24 yards out. Could be a shot on goal. Also could be something that's put into the mixer, and it's Peter Achukwu over the ball for Brilla in the orange highlighters cleats. Maybe he can bend it like his fellow countryman David Beckham.
It'd be exciting to see what they do here.
Miami making sure that they have enough people back. All 9 players minus Hernandez are sitting in that box. And here it comes. Well over. It was a shot on goal from the free kick. Matthew with the goal kick. Tambini gets up and wins that aerial challenge. Tambini, just applaud him for the effort he has done as the defensive holding midfielder. Out to Zachary Marzuk, who errantly passes that one away. And it's Patrick Lopez to Garcias Partidas. Out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez still on the ball. Rodriguez wins that challenge, slips it in, and it's cleared out by Michael Gonzalo, the Brilla center back.
You can tell both teams are giving each other a lot of respect, definitely on defensive end, dropping back and really helping out.
Hugo LaRue throws it in. Dustin Ashley wins it. LaRue. Peter on the ball. Wins it. Dangerous position there for everybody. Eduardo Cruz up to Ignatius Flores. Miscommunication between Dustin Ashley and Jordan Bell, and Zachary Marzuk was almost the recipient of an easy goal in the first half of overtime. Stephen Roberson into the far side corner, and it's cleared away by Miami. Maybe not the best decision to head that away for a corner, as Hugo LaRue did just that from a Stephen Roberson cross.
I tell you, I really do like Roberson, how much he adds to the mix when he came on the field here at the second half. It's really added a lot of depth to their offensive lineup.
A definite game changer, as he has just been absolutely clutch in creating opportunities. Sergio Arroyo serves it in, and it's cleared out by Miami, who counters and has good numbers as Hernandez receives the ball from Marzuk. Marzuk runs on, but is not found. Served up to Eduardo Cruz. Correction, Sergio Arroyo. Cruz on the ball. Hernandez attempts a through ball, causing a little trouble as we enter the 7th minute. Still not at 0-0 between Mississippi Brilla and FC Miami City.
Looks like they're having a little difficulty on miscommunication on the defensive end for Brilla here.
And it's not characteristic of them. The past 90 minutes before overtime, they looked very solid as a unit, and right now they're just trying to figure it out. Cleared out by John Calderwood to Roberson, and here comes the substitute. Cleared away by Patrick Lopez. And Brilla looks to insert another player, soon to be sub, number 18, I believe. Let me check that. Noel Mace from Jamaica entering the game, number 19.
Substitution for Brilla. Coming into the game, number 19, Nolan Mace. Leaving the game, number 12, Carlos Garces.
Ignacius Flores on the ball after that substitution for Brilla. Stephen Roberson almost had the chance of a PDL career and just unable to get a left or right foot on it.
That was definitely an exciting go at it there. That would have been a great ball there.
That substitution was Noel Mace from Jamaica, inserted for Carlos Garcias, number 12. Mace with a big aerial challenge there. See Philip Buffington down there warming up for Brilla. Kellangoli shields his defender. Mace wins the ball, wins it again. That substitute, you can tell he has the fresh legs. Back to Jordan Bell. Who clears it into the 8th lane of the track. Again, Brilla is in this stagnant formation where there's only Kellangoli up top, while Miami has nearly everybody at the top of their formation. Dustin Ashley's clearance is deflected to Timbini. Mace has to make an attempt there to actually go towards the ball and win it. Mace to Ignacius Flores. Cruz. Flores switches fields, and that's probably going to be too heavy as it rolls out of bounds for a Miami throw-in. To Gully. To Roberson. Roberson beats one, loses, and it's Gully back on it. To, I believe, Royo, who loses the ball on the dribble. And Miami looks to counter. Hernandez. Flores looks to have cramped up, so he's unable to play the ball. Mace running onto it, gets a touch, and it is a throw-in for Brilla. Nice little combination play on the near side between Lucas Almeida and Noel Mace, the Jamaican. Eduardo Cruz handles the throw-in for Brilla. To Almeida. Back to Cruz. Hernandez brings the ball up. It's a good chance. Shot on goal, and it's wide as the substitute Alejandro Hernandez received that pass from Zachary Marzuk.
That was definitely a there.
12th minute of the first half of overtime. We're playing 15 minutes in the first half and 15 minutes in the second. It's still Mississippi Brilla 0, FC Miami 0. Jordan Bell arguing the case that he'd had no touch on the ball, but it's a Miami corner kick. I don't mind the pleading, but I also don't mind that he touched it to send it well wide. Hugo LaRue looks to whip it in with his left foot for Miami. Cleared out. Brilla pushes out. It's Mace to Roberson. Back to Mace. To Ignatius Flores. Flores serves it long. Cleared out by the Miami defense. Patrick Lopez. Clearanced out by Michael Gonzalo. Throw in for Miami. Rodriguez loses the ball to Mace. Mace pushes it up and is fouled. And finally, Patrick Lopez, who has been living on the wild side, is carded by Mark Dreyfus. He's had some clattering tackles or some hard attempts at the ball.
Yeah, it can't be too surprised that he finally ended up with a card there, for sure. That was a long time coming there, this game so far.
So it's Tambini standing over the ball along with Michael Gonzalo, John Calderwood also in the mix, and a hefty amount of Brilla players standing in the 18-yard box. Getting near the end of this first overtime. I do not know if there will be any added time. That'll be up to the fourth official. As Stephen Roberson plays it down to Almeida. Almeida to Gully. Mace battles for the ball. Flores wins a free kick. Was obviously in better position. As Alejandro Hernandez is the recipient of the foul. No card issued, though the time wasting by him was an unsportsmanlike behavior, is not readily smiled upon. And look like Mark Dreyfus will have a word or two with Alejandro. Blue Battalion would like to see a yellow card. And Alejandro Hernandez exits stage left of the situation.
It's definitely a long walk for the referee over there to not issue a card for sure.
I understand cleaning up an issue, and he will say, hey, that's the end of the first half of overtime. We're switching fields as Mississippi Brilla remains tied with FC Miami City 0-0 or 0-0. back underway in the second overtime. Philip Buffington was inserted into the game by Mark McKeever for Kellen Gully. He'll play on the far right side, and
Substitution.
Noel
Stop.
Mace
Brilla coming into the game,
takes on the
20,
center forward role.
Leaving the game, number 9, Kellen Gully.
Gully was probably extremely tired, having played pretty much a lone ranger up top. Philip Buffington gets his first touches on the ball of overtime. Dustin Ashley. Ashley to Tambini. And it's Almeida, Lucas Almeida. Tambini. And a foul is issued by McKeever. Correction, Dreyfus, Mark Dreyfus. Coach on the brain, I guess. Miami switches fields. Del Rio on the ball. Gonzalo clears it. And it's a Miami throw-in.
Definitely got some tired legs out there. 105, 106 minutes in. I'm sure they're feeling the heat and everything else with playing this type of arduous game out there.
Mental game now. It's less physical and more mental. Tambini pushes forward. Mace almost found the through ball, almost found the ticket behind the Miami back line. Instead, Hugo LaRue brings the ball up and loses it as Dustin Ashley plays the ball. A lot of space played in to Almeida. Almeida shoots it, saved by Matthew, and Mace chases it down off the deflection from Matthew's save.
That was a phenomenal volley by Lucas there. That was quite on.
And as you could see, there was a lot of room for that ball to be played in, a lot of space in between the defenders and Brilla's midfielder there to serve that ball in, and just excellent shot by Almeida. But Matthew got that paw on the ball. Ball served out by Matthew on the goal kick. Miami remains in possession. 19th minute of overtime, still 0-0. Offsides. Ball and free kick played quickly. Cruz.
You notice Miami has got quite a large number of offensive players.
I don't know if they're too concerned about scoring a goal anymore. The penalty kicks seem to be looming as we're 11 minutes away from the end of regulation. Or overtime, correction. Regulation has been well past. It's Roberson with a touch to Buffington. Buffington shoots! And the longtime Brilla player shot is deflected out as Zachary Merzouk applies pressure. And Calderwood continues to take the ball up front, and he's almost out of gas as he loses control. And a swinging tackle there does not do much. Ball in behind. And you could just tell right there, you would think, seeing the ball and that much space in front of you, you would think, man, I'm going to chase on to it. But these guys are tired. These guys are fatigued as Alejandro Hernandez opted out of giving full chase to that ball.
Not a lot of gas left here, I think, at this point.
So it's Dustin Ashley on the ball. Play to Eduardo Cruz to Almeida. Almeida on the ball, cuts back, loses the ball. Gonzalo clears it with his head. To Roberson. Roberson to Mace. And that was a definite flop
Yeah.
by Urendi Suarez, I believe.
And the Blue Battalion's having none of that.
Urendi Suarez was looking for something I did not see. And obviously Mark Dreyfus is just having none of it either, like the Blue Battalion.
Yeah.
It did not look. He seems fine as he dusts himself off. I did not quite see that as he saw it.
He's still trying to sell. Don't think anybody's buying that.
Don't expect an Oscar nomination anytime soon. I don't know if that really had to occur where you give them the throw in there. I almost think a flop like that would warrant really no, acceptance of that. It's a Brilla throw in, but it's good to see the sportsmanship though out of Brilla. That's a positive. Even after playing well over 115 minutes, they're still being professional and still showing that they're a class act, and so has Miami. That's just an incident there where trying to sell something and nobody was buying. Free kick for Miami. Ignacio Flores' run just came to an end there.
It's definitely ticking down, looking like PK's maybe on the horizon.
So we get closer to the 24th minute. It remains 0-0 between the Mississippi Brilla and the FC Miami City champions. Hugo LaRue beats one, tries to slip it in, continues to have the ball, and is nothing doing as the ball is cleared out. Philip Buffington battling. He's played for Brilla since, I believe, 07. Cruz looks to have been shoved there. Mark Dreyfus heading towards Ignacio Flores. Maybe a card, maybe a caution. Steph's just a word or two. And Daniel Del Rio will throw it in. Cleared out by Tambini. Won by Patrick Lopez and lost by Patrick Lopez. May steps in. Del Rio, long pass. But looks like Bell will have a chance to bring it up. He's not happy with the way he was challenged by Alejandro Hernandez. It is pleading Mark Dreyfus.
I'm actually surprised there's not been more cards here in the last 10 minutes than have been issued.
I believe just an attempt to at least not infuriate anybody by Mark Dreyfus. Maybe he's just attempting to keep the cards in his pocket. Played up by Jordan Bell. Calderwood. Cruz to Mace. Gonzalo with a foot. Gonzalo battles with Victor. Victor doesn't get anything done there. And it's Roberson on the ball after a great combination between Mace and Calderwood, but the ball is lost. And it goes out for a Miami throw-in. Gonzalo, Cruz, Roberson. Long shot, and long shot indeed. 27th minute, and PK seem to be looming even brighter now. I think that's where we're headed.
Looks to be that way.
I don't like PKs too much. I feel like we could maybe take a few guys off the field, maybe 7-on-7, open up the field a little bit.
Yeah,
Golden goal.
PK's definitely are a tough way to lose for sure. So, but it looks like that's definitely where we are headed for sure.
Looks like a collision of heads between Mace of Brilla and a Miami player yet to be seen.
That's always a scary situation going up for headers like that.
Mark Dreyfus will have a drop ball. That Miami, with great class, plays back to Jordan Bell.
Well, and one thing's for sure, all these kids that are out in the stands tonight are probably really anticipating and excited about seeing some PKs. So at least that's exciting.
They'll see the goals that they came to see. At least the ball will cross the goal a few times in PKs, maybe a lot. Tambini to Mace. Cruz. Almeida remains on the ball to Cruz. Roberson with the diagonal run. He's caught off sides. And even if that would have been ruled not offsides, Philip Buffington finds crossbar. What a run by Roberson. Made a run across the back line and looked to be onside. Maybe if that ball had played a touch earlier, he's onside. But instead, it's the 29th minute, heading to the 30th, and we are knotted at 0-0 between Mississippi Brilla and the FC Miami City champions. Cleared out by Michael Gonzalo. Those center backs for Brilla are stout, and they're hard to beat. Dustin Ashley and Michael Gonzalo. Ignatius Flores gives chase, brings it down, clears it out. No knockout blow yet, and that was what we're looking at for PKs to do, decide this one. And it's a free kick, a late free kick. If you're Miami, I'm sure you're pushing as many guys into the box as possible, as this ball and this opportunity might be the last of the overtime period. Philip Buffington looking towards Mark McKeever saying, should I go back? And sure enough, he's saying, yes, get back. Brilla's going to need as many hands on deck to defend this one. Miami City. Nearly everybody pushed up. Take a deep breath. Here we go. Cleared out. Miss hit. Still in Miami's possession. No foul there. And that is the end of overtime.
So here we go.
Mississippi Brilla 0, FC Miami 0. Stay tuned. It's penalty kick time. Welcome back to the second semifinal of the PDL Southern Conference Championships as Mississippi Brilla and FC Miami City champions head to penalty kicks to decide this one. After 120 minutes, it was still 0-0 as these two teams battled back and forth to see who will face the Ocala Stampede, the defending Southern champions, in tomorrow's final at 7:30 p.m. here at Arrow Field in Clinton, Mississippi.
And Ocala's got to be excited that they're at home back at the hotel resting and waiting to find out who they're going to be playing tomorrow after 120 minutes of play here. This is always a tough way to end the game.
Brilla will take the initial free kick of their first of five. And it will be Eduardo Cruz to step up to the mark, facing goalkeeper Florian Matthew. Cruz waits his time, steps towards the ball, and it's saved by Florian Matthew.
That was a huge save for the first shot there.
And it'll be Victor Narenold stepping up to take FC Miami's first penalty kick. Jordan Bell just saw what his counterpart did and is going to have to either one-up him or hope that Victor Narenold sells this one wide. FC Miami's first free kick upcoming. And it's saved by Jordan Bell.
I think Jordan's a little excited about that save, too.
I think we're still tied 0-0.
Yeah.
Even after two penalty kicks, the score remains
unheard of.
knotted.
Two incredible saves there.
And it's Jackson Prep's very own Philip Buffington, local player, longtime Brilla team member, has been a on and off member of the team since 2007. His kick is a goal. That is a classic Philip Buffington finish right there. No surprise.
No thinking about that. It was just straight to the back of the net. That's
How
got to
about
feel
that?
good for Philip, too.
Philip Buffington, the Jackson Prep product in the Mississippi College Choctaw, puts that one in the back of the net. Played for Jackson Football Club growing up.
And we at least know there's no plexiglass on the goals tonight. That ball actually did go in.
It is Carlos Garcia's Partida looking to tie this one up from the spot. Getting a little razzing. And he puts it away. It's 1-1 in the penalty kick shootout. Lucas Almeida steps up to the plate, steps up to the penalty mark. Very big penalty kick here. Can they make it two in a row? We'll see as Almeida sets up his shot. And Florian Matthew returns to the goal line. We're on the whistle of Mark Dreyfus in the third round of penalty kicks. And it's in the back of the net.
That's the way they do PKs in Brazil. Awesome kick there by Lucas.
Now it's the substitute, Alejandro Hernandez for Miami. Their third player to the spot. Trailing 2-1. Can Jordan Bell, who is not facing, now is facing Hernandez, can Jordan Bell save another shot? Very cheeky there. Slow movement and got Bell to get away and placed it the other. 2-2. Heading to the fourth round of penalty kicks. The tension is thick, almost as thick as this humidity. As we are not at 2-2, head to the fourth round. Up to the penalty mark is center back Michael Gonzalo. Gonzalo might put a hole in the back of the net if he can find it. Here he goes. And it sails over. Unfortunate set of events right there for Brilla, setting up Jordan Bell to be a hero once more. Jordan Bell, the Brilla goalkeeper, will face Zachary Merzouk in the fourth round. Zachary Merzouk came in during the second half as a substitute. And this shall be interesting to see if Miami FC Miami, can take a lead. And it's into the left corner. 3-2 Miami.
It all comes down to this right here.
The hopes of a season rest on the shoulder of Louis Tambini. Extreme silence, and I'll let you enjoy it as this spot kick. And it's saved by Florian Matthew, and FC Miami City leaves Arrowfield silent as FC Miami City will have a rematch against their rival from Florida, the Ocala Stampede. Louis Tambini went left, and Florian Matthew went to his right, saving it as Miami FC defeats Mississippi Brilla 3-2 in penalty kicks. This was Will Nations along with Michael Goolsby. We hope you join us tomorrow.